For under $300, you can now buy a fully enclosed laser engraver that fits in a backpack. A year ago, that wasn't possible. The ACMER K1 is portable, it's Class 1 eye safe, and it goes from box to engraving in under 5 minutes. Sounds almost too good to be true, right? Welcome back to Hoffman Engineering. After a month of testing, I can tell you that it does some things really well, and a few things that can make you think twice. In this review, I'm covering everything: the specs, the build, the software, the cuts, the engravings, and a hardware issue that I found that you should know about before you buy. Whether you're looking for something to take to craft shows, set up in a small apartment, or bringing to a friend's place for a project night, that's the space this machine is trying to fill. The question is whether it actually delivers. Let's get into it. Before we begin, this K1 laser engraver was provided for me to review by ACMER. As with all of my reviews, they aren't paying me for this review, and everything I say is my own honest opinion after using this laser for the last month. My videos do have affiliate links in the description, so if you're interested in anything you see in any of my videos, from laser engravers, materials, or accessories, you can use those links for the latest discount codes. You can save yourself some money and help support our channel. We appreciate it. The ACMER K1 is an enclosed benchtop diode laser engraver. It uses a 455 nanometer wavelength blue diode laser. Diode lasers are great for engraving and cutting natural materials like wood, bamboo, leather, and paper, as well as dark acrylics and non-reflective coated metals like anodized aluminum. Since diode lasers emit blue light, they don't work well on transparent materials like clear acrylic or untreated glass without a marking compound or coating. The K1 comes in 4 different power levels: 2.5 watts, 3.5 watts, 7 watts, and 12 watts. I have the 7-watt version with me today. ACMER advertises a laser spot size of 0.08 by 0.08 millimeters, though interestingly, their website also claims 0.04 by 0.04 millimeters elsewhere. My own kerf tests measured 0.06 millimeters, so the truth seems to land somewhere in between. Either way, that's a nicely focused diode laser that should give you some fine detail for engraving. The low-powered 2.5 watt and 3.5 watt modules are best suited for engraving only, while the 7 watt and 12 watt versions can also cut thinner materials. ACMER advertises that the 12 watt version can cut up to 8mm Polonia wood in a single pass. Alright, enough numbers. Let's talk about what actually makes this machine different. The standout feature of the K1 is its fully enclosed design. This is a Class 1 laser product, which means that with the enclosure closed, you can operate this laser without safety goggles. That's a huge deal for safety, especially if you have kids, pets, or other people around while you're working. The enclosed design keeps the laser light contained within the chamber. The protective cover is a tinted translucent plastic that lets you see the laser working while filtering out the harmful light. The enclosure also helps contain smoke and fumes, although I would still recommend using it in a well-ventilated area and venting the exhaust outside. The enclosure is nicely built, the lid feels good to open, and I love the overall look of the machine. At the back of the K1 is a built-in smoke exhaust fan. It pulls the smoke and fumes away from the work area during engraving and cutting, and it runs automatically when the machine is operating. The exhaust fan does a decent job of clearing smoke away during lighter engraving jobs. I had my K1 connected to my air purifier before pumping it out of my window vent. You can check out my air purifier video for more on that setup, although ACMER does have their own air purifier which would be a perfect fit for the K1. While running, I was measuring 59 to 61 decibels from a foot away. This is a pretty quiet machine. The enclosure helps mitigate some of that noise. The 7-watt laser module sits inside of the enclosure and moves on a small gantry system. The gantry is belt driven, using rubber V-slot wheels running on aluminum extrusions. At the top of the laser module is a cooling fan that blows through the module to cool the diodes and help clear away smoke from the cutting area. There's a red protective nozzle on the bottom of the laser module that gives you visibility of the laser spot while providing additional protection. That nozzle is magnetically attached and easy to remove for cleaning. The K1 does not come with an air assist system. There's no compressed air nozzle to blow away smoke or debris during cutting. That means that you will see some darkening around the edges of cuts, especially with deeper engravings. For a machine at this price point and form factor, that's understandable, but it's worth noting if you're coming from a machine with air assist. There is a hole on the side of the machine that could fit an air assist tube, but the laser module doesn't have the nozzle attachment, so you'd have to rig your own. Setting the focus of the K1 is straightforward. ACMER includes a focal length measurement sheets with the machine. For the 7-watt module, that focal distance is 2 millimeters. Simply place the measurement sheet on top of your material, loosen the side knob with the laser module, slide the laser down until the protective cover touches the measurement sheet, and then tighten the knob. It takes just a few seconds. It doesn't get easier than this. The K1 has a 150 by 150 millimeter work area, about 6 inches by 6 inches. That's a small work area compared to larger desktop engravers, but it's the trade-off you get for portability. It's well suited for smaller projects like coasters, keychains, leather patches, jewelry tags, or personalized gifts. The overall machine is 286 by 273 by 190 millimeters, and it weighs only 2.4 kilograms, just over 5 pounds. You can easily pick this up with one hand and move it from room to room, or to take it to a craft show or market. The compact footprint means it fits comfortably on a small desk or even a kitchen table. Just be mindful of ventilation. The center work surface is removable, which makes it easy to clean. However, it is a flat surface that your material rests directly on, which means that there's no airflow underneath while cutting. That can reduce cutting efficiency and cause more darkening around the edges. I found myself raising the material off of the bed using paper clips as a makeshift riser, but proper risers would fit better. All the ones that I owned were too long to fit in the enclosure. One last thing to note, while the center work surface is removable, the laser module can't slide down far enough to focus on a surface sitting below the machine. This is a small missed opportunity. It would have been great to remove the base plates and turn the K1 into a portable surface engraver for larger items. On the left side of the machine, you'll find the DC power input and USB port. The K1 uses a 12-volt DC power adapter. The USB connection is how you'll send designs from your computer. There's an emergency stop button, which is essential, but it's on the back of the machine, not where your hand would normally reach in a panic. Inside of the enclosure, there's interior LED lights to help you see your work area, which is a nice touch. Beyond the enclosed design, the K1 includes a few other safety features. There are switches on the lid to detect when the cover is open. If you open the cover while the laser is running, it'll pause within 1 second. Close the cover and the job resumes. That's great to see. There's also tilt detection, which stops the laser if it is tilted more than 45 degrees. It triggered quickly in my testing, important for preventing a disaster if the laser is accidentally pulled off of a table. The machine also has built-in limit switches for homing the gantry position, which is handy for repeatable setups. However, these are minimum limit switches only. There is no maximum limits in hardware or software, so you can grind the belts if you try to move the laser past the edge of the work area. One of the best things about the K1 is how little assembly is required. Take it out of the box, remove the packing material, slide the laser module into the holder, connect a single cable, and you're ready to go. The whole process takes minutes. This is a great experience for beginners who don't want to spend hours assembling a machine before they start creating. Assembly is a 10 out of 10 experience. The software, well, we need to talk about the software. The K1 can use any Gerbil compatible software, including ACMER Tool, Laser Gerbil, and Lightburn. ACMER Tool, formerly ACMER Studio, is ACMER's own dedicated software. It integrates device connection, engraving mode selection, graphic editing, and laser parameter settings all in one place. The software is free and works on both Windows and Mac OS. ACMER has been updating the software, but even the latest version has some frustrations. The preview mode displays a very low quality JPEG image of your designs, and the toolpath the laser follows is very inefficient. Take this subscribe text engraving. Instead of engraving the entire word at once, or even letter by letter, ACMER Tool splits the letters into individual pieces, sometime engraving half of a letter, jumping to the next, and then coming back to finish. Oh, and the time remaining? It displays as a decimal. 3.85 minutes remaining. I'll let you do that math. If you're going to get serious with a K1, get Lightburn. It's my go-to software for laser engravers, and the K1 works well with it. Setup takes a couple of clicks. Select Gerbil as a device type, set the work area to 150 by 150 millimeters, and set the job origin to the lower left corner. The manual walks you through it, but honestly, you'll be up and running in under a minute. Where Lightburn really earns its money is the tools. Material test patterns, proper toolpath optimizations, precise speed and power control. It's everything that ACMER Tool should be but isn't. I use Lightburn for all of my tests in this review, and I highly recommend picking up a license. I'll leave a link in the description. Alright, enough talking about specs. Let's see what the 7-watt laser can actually do. Wood is where diode lasers shine. Running Lightburn's material test pattern on 3mm birch plywood, I was getting slightly inconsistent cutting results. I found that 200 millimeters per minute gave the most consistent cuts. That's slower than I expected for a 7-watt laser. For context, a 5-watt laser with a vented honeycomb bed can typically cut the same material at 250 to 350 millimeters per minute. I think the lack of a vented bed is what's holding the K1 back here. My curve tests show an offset of 0.06 millimeters. That's tighter than ACMER's advertised 0.08 millimeter spot size, and speaks to a nicely focused diode laser. For engraving, the K1 can reach speeds up to 10,000 millimeters per minute. You can get great photo engraving results with the right speeds and feeds, like with these photos of my dog Jack. Looking at my living hinge test, I was a bit surprised. Normally, without air assist, I'd expect the deep engraving of the text to show darkening around the edges, but the text came out pretty clean. It was actually the cuts that showed the most darkening. Leather engraving worked well on the K1. I was expecting the leather to show darkening around the edges, but this leather bracelet engraved very cleanly. Consistent depths across the surface and basically no edge discoloration. Great work. Diode lasers cannot cut clear acrylic, but they do work well on dark colored acrylics. The K1 handled black acrylic just fine. This 3D print log keychain looks good, and slate is still one of my favorite materials to engrave with lasers. This slate coaster turned out great, with nice, crisp, and consistent engraving across the entire surface. And while diode lasers cannot engrave raw metals, they can remove coatings from coated or anodized aluminum to create contrast. However, I struggled to find settings that worked consistently. Running my test patterns at 2,000 millimeters per minute with different power levels and line intervals, only the most aggressive settings removed most of the coating. Dropping the speed down to 1,500 millimeters per minute for my full test still wasn't enough. off. Much of the coating remained. Stainless steel can sometimes be marked by diode lasers. They can't engrave the metal away, but they can heat the surface enough to form oxide marks. My testing shows the K1 7-watt isn't quite enough to produce colored oxides. I was able to get some shades of gray, but no color. That's not unexpected. You need more power than that for stainless. Now, not everything was perfect with my unit. My K1 seems to have an issue with its y-axis. With my first material test, I noticed that the squares weren't quite lining up. It's hard to show on camera, but looking at the cuts at an angle, you can see periodic waves in the lines running along the y-axis. At first, I thought the material was shifting. The exhaust fan and the laser's cooling fan were moving the lightweight plywood around inside of the small work area. So I started taping the edges down. But even with the material firmly taped, the waves were still there. This living hinge was taped down tight, and you can still see the waviness. So I ran some diagnostic tests, a grid of lines on the X and Y axes, and everything taped down so not even the work surface could shift. The X-axis lines were perfectly straight. The Y-axis lines have the same periodic waves. My machine's Y-axis have some kind of mechanical issue, likely with the V-slot wheels or a belt pulley, based on the repeating pattern. But to diagnose it further, I'd have to disassemble the entire laser to access those components. Now, is this a problem with every K1, or did I get an unlucky unit? I honestly don't know. The repeating pattern tells me it's mechanical. That kind of thing is typically a quality issue, not a design flaw, but I can only speak to the unit that I have. If you do pick up a K1, I'd recommend running a simple line test on both axes before you start any real projects. That way you'll know right away if your unit has the same issue. So let's bring it all together. The K1 is an entry-level laser at an entry-level price, and it should come with entry-level expectations. Where the K1 truly excels is portability. At only 2.4 kilograms, this is a grab-and-go machine. The enclosed design makes it much safer to transport than an open-frame laser, and the compact footprint means that you can set it up almost anywhere. When it comes to cutting and engraving performance, however, the K1 7-watt module falls a bit behind. It's outclassed by some of the 5-watt lasers that I've tested recently that have air assist and better ventilation. I was able to get good results, I just had to run it slower than I expected. The K1 took just minutes to unbox and get running. There is almost no assembly, just slide the laser module and plug it in, but that makes the waviness of the y-axis on my unit even more frustrating, since it wasn't caused by my own assembly. It came that way from the factory. The K1 does have some clear limitations. The 150 by 150 millimeter work area is small. If you want to engrave larger projects, you'll need a bigger machine. You'll likely also have to pre-cut your materials to fit inside, since the work area can't accommodate standard 12-inch by 12-inch sheets. And as an entry-level laser, the K1 is missing features found on more premium engravers. There's no air assist as standard, no camera for positioning, and no flame detection. But you do get a fully enclosed laser that doesn't break the bank. The ACMER K1 7-watt laser engraver is on sale for $299 US at the time of recording. If you want more power, you can pick up the 12-watt version for only $60 more. The 3.5-watt and 2.5-watt versions are on sale for $259 and $199 respectively. ACMER also sells accessories that work with the K1, including their air purifier at $309 and their air assist compressor at $59. At $299, the K1 is one of, if not the least expensive, fully enclosed laser engravers on the market. Most alternatives are hundreds of dollars more for the same power, or require purchasing an enclosure separately. Prices fluctuate, so check the links in the description for current pricing and any available discount codes. So who's this for? If safety, portability, and low cost are what you're looking for, the K1 is a strong option. I could see this being perfect for taking to a friend's house for a crafting session, for a small home workshop where space is at a premium, for an apartment dwellers who need to store their equipment when not in use, or for an educational setting where the machine needs to move between rooms. The enclosed design is also a real advantage if you're thinking about craft shows or markets. You don't need to worry about safety goggles for yourself or curious onlookers standing nearby. If you need a larger work area, serious cutting power, or production speeds, look at ACMER's larger machines like the P2 or P3. But if you want a safe, portable, beginner-friendly engraver for small projects, the K1 hits a nice sweet spot. So thank you all for watching my review of the ACMER K1 7-watt laser engraver. If you found this helpful, a like and subscribe really does help the channel. Drop a comment below. What projects would you make with a portable laser engraver like this? I've got plenty more projects and reviews in the works, so I'll see you all in the next one. Thanks for watching.